I guess you could say there was an environmental element to the record. There was, with most of the way I write, there tends to be a wider thing going on that I can't deny, that I'm absorbing all the time. Obviously, like a lot of people, although it's a little bit slow over here, but it's getting started. The global warming thing is obviously something we all need to, I mean, it's too large to comprehend. That feeling is all through the record, that on one level there's something going on which is just so enormous and so beyond each individual human being to get their heads around. And I was trying in my puny way to deal with that, really, because I couldn't help it. I mean, I got involved with Friends of the Earth as well, who are doing this campaign called The Big Ask, which sounds like something else, but I think for me the thing about it is that it feels like with the global warming issue that it's completely impossible for us to ever deal with it. But I mean, according to scientists, that's not strictly the case, that there is a way out of this. And I think it's rather too tempting for everybody concerned to just throw up their hands and say, well, but if you have children, you can't do that anyway. You can't look at your children in the face and know that they have no future. You just can't do it. Not if you're a human being. Well, over here I've encountered it's 200 or 300 years away, and by then we'll have found a new power source here, right? Well, we don't know it for certain. It could be sunspots. You know, the science hasn't proven the planet temperature goes up and down, which is just frankly ignorant of the facts. So, but you know, there's an awful lot of stake. So, I mean, the interesting thing was when I first got involved with the Big Ask campaign, there was an orchestrated disinformation thing going on, funded by various US lobby groups involved with the oil companies, where they were trawling out the one or two scientists they could find that still doubted some of the science involved, and paying them an awful lot of money and to go and pretend that they were equally qualified to discuss the subject, when there was tens of thousands of other scientists who signed up the other way. I mean, that's what you're up against. But they see that didn't work. I mean, it certainly isn't working in Europe. I mean, it's still a little bit hanging around in America, but it won't take long. And then the next thing we do is have to work out what we're going to do about it. Doing what I do is pretty carbon consuming, so it's very difficult to see beyond the fact that the truck drivers insist on leaving their engines running because that's where they live, which just drives me absolutely crazy. That you have to have these stupid generators. Well, why can't, I mean, there must be another way of doing it. You know, it's just endless, all the waste and stuff. But you know, it was really inspiring getting involved with Friends of the Earth, because I went to them and they were presenting the reality of it, which was difficult to get your head around. But what was really inspiring was their commitment to try and do something about it. And it's not sort of like waving flags or holding big concerts or any of that rubbish. It's just like behind the scenes, writing letters, hassling MPs, and trying to change your little tiny cosmos a little bit. But actually the truth of the matter is that unless there's huge legislation, unless there's a seismic shift in the way we see that we consume energy, the way we understand what energy is and our rights to it or not, unless we deal with that, every single person deal with that, and unless the laws put in place that everybody can agree with, we're not going to get anywhere. But it needs to be national and international laws. And what you're up against is an entire system based on the idea of increased expansion, increased consumption, endless building, to give the illusion of a prosperous, wonderful society. But that society is on a knife edge, because its main energy source is running out. even before you get to the global warming issue. I mean, it's running out. I mean, our tactics to destabilise the Middle East and so on in order to gain the supply routes for the oil, they're not going to last long. You know, at some point or other, we're going to be presented with the fact that our main source of energy is out of date, and we need to either address how we use energy or change our energy source. One way or the other, we have to get out of our addiction to oil, like everybody says.